way downstairs and drank a cup, and looking up.
We like to think our favorite classics were built note by note, exactly the way the artist intended. But the truth is messier and a lot more human. Hiding inside some of the most beloved songs ever recorded are mistakes, a fumbled vocal, a broken machine, a warm-up nobody meant to keep, a tape someone forgot to turn off. And in every case, the people in the room left the mistake right where it was. These are 15 genuine studio accidents, buried inside the records we still play today.
How I wish you were here.
How many were never supposed to happen at all? Let us drop the needle and find out.
About a lucky man who made the grade.
Number 15, A Day in the Life by the Beatles.
Found the way downstairs and drank a cup, and looking up, I noticed.
The Beatles closed Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with A Day in the Life, one of the most ambitious recordings of their career, complete with a 40-piece orchestra and that famous final piano chord that rings out for almost a minute.
And though the news was rather sad.
But listen closely as the song fades, and you can hear something that was never meant to be there. According to engineer Jeff Emmerich, during one of the final overdubs, Ringo Starr shifted slightly in his seat.
I just had to laugh.
And his shoe let out a faint squeak. It happened at the worst possible moment, right when the room had gone almost completely silent. Paul shot Ringo a look, and Ringo was mortified.
I saw the photograph.
But the squeak survived. It is still on the record to this day, a tiny human flaw hiding inside one of the most polished productions the band ever made.
Big wheels keep on turning.
Number 14, Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Sweet home Alabama.
Lynyrd Skynyrd's Sweet Home Alabama is one of the most recognizable Southern rock anthems ever recorded. And tucked into the final minute is a moment that fans have argued about for 50 years.
Carry me home to smack you.
Around the 4-minute mark, if you turn it up, you can hear Ronnie Van Zant say something that sounds an awful lot like he is complaining about lost donuts. The leading explanation is wonderfully ordinary.
Singing songs about the Southland.
During a long late-night session, somebody made a food run, and Van Zant's offhand grumble about the order got caught on tape while the song was still rolling.
I miss Alabama once again, and I think it's the same. Yes.
The band never cleaned it up. That little unscripted aside, a hungry singer muttering in the small hours, became a permanent part of one of rock's biggest hits.
So you think you could tell
Number 12, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd.
how I wish you were here.
Pink Floyd built Wish You Were Here as a tribute to their lost bandmate Syd Barrett, and the song opens with a delicate acoustic guitar drifting in, as if through an old radio.
Heaven from hell, blue skies.
But that gentle intro hides an accident. While guitarist David Gilmour was recording, he was a heavy smoker at the time, and a small cough slipped out onto the tape.
Can you tell a green field from a
Rather than erase it, the band decided the cough actually added to the intimate, lived-in atmosphere they were chasing, the feeling of someone simply sitting in a room playing. So they kept it.
smile from a veil? Do you think
As the story goes, Gilmour was so struck hearing his own smoker's cough on playback that it pushed him to quit cigarettes. A flaw stayed in, and a habit went out.
inside when it's in your face really shows your age?
Number 10, Maggie May by Rod Stewart.
Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore.
Rod Stewart's Maggie May launched his solo career and remains one of his signature songs, but the recording came together under almost comically rough conditions.
But that don't worry me none. My eyes show everything.
The session drummer Mickey Waller typically showed up expecting the studio to provide a kit, and for this song there was one waiting, except nobody could find any cymbals. So they recorded the entire backbone of the song with no cymbal crashes at all,
Laughed at all of your jokes. My love, you didn't.
and added them in later as a separate overdub days afterward. On top of that, The famous mandolin part was played by a musician Stewart could not even properly credit at the time. Leading to that infamous album note thanking the mandolin player whose name slipped his mind. A patched-together session became an enduring classic. Number 9. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida by Iron Butterfly. Iron Butterfly's In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida is one of the defining epics of late 1960s rock, a 17-minute monster that took over an entire album side. And that strange, exotic-sounding title was a complete accident. As the band has told it, singer Doug Ingle had been drinking heavily one night, working through a slow ballad on his keyboard. And when a bandmate asked him what the song was called, Ingle tried to say, "In the Garden of Eden." What actually came out of his mouth was a slurred mumble that sounded like, "In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida." It stuck. The mispronunciation was so memorable that the band kept it, and a drunken slip of the tongue became one of the most famous song titles in rock history. Number 8. My Generation by The Who.
Just because we get around.
The Who's My Generation is one of the great anthems of youth and rebellion, and its most distinctive feature, Roger Daltrey's stuttering delivery, came partly from nerves and circumstance. Daltrey has said he had not rehearsed the song much. He was anxious in the studio, and he could barely hear his own voice in the monitors. As he scrambled to fit the words to the music, the stutter crept in.
Trying to cause a big sensation.
Producer Shel Talmy later called it simply one of those happy accidents that they decided to keep. There were other influences swirling around too, but the result was undeniable. That broken, stammering vocal, the famous line where Daltrey nearly trips over the word fade, made the song feel exactly as restless and frustrated as the kids it was written for. Number 7. Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. The Kingsmen's Louie Louie is one of the most famous garage rock records ever made, and it is practically built out of mistakes. The band recorded it in a single morning. Exhausted from a gig the night before, in a studio that mostly cut advertising jingles. The microphones were hung too high for singer Jack Ely to reach comfortably, so he had to strain up on his toes to be heard. Which is part of why the lyrics are so famously impossible to understand. At one point, he comes in a full bar too early and has to stop. You can even hear the drummer accidentally clack his sticks together and mutter a curse. The band thought it was just a rehearsal. That ragged take was the only one they got, and it sold millions. Number 6. Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. Eric Clapton's Layla is built in two halves, the desperate guitar-driven opening and that gorgeous cascading piano coda that everyone remembers. And that famous outro has one of the most tangled origins in rock. The piano section is credited to drummer Jim Gordon, and the story goes that Clapton overheard Gordon quietly playing it in the studio and asked to fold it into the song. But singer Rita Coolidge, who was dating Gordon at the time, has long maintained that she co-wrote that melody with him first, played it for Clapton, and left him a demo, only to hear it later attached to Layla with no credit to her name. However you weigh the dispute, the soaring coda that makes Layla unforgettable was a separate piece of music, stitched onto the end almost as an afterthought. Number 5. The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac's The Chain is the only song on the legendary Rumours album credited to all 5 members, and there is a very good reason for that. It is not really one song at all. During the famously tense Rumours sessions, the band was struggling to finish several different ideas, and rather than throw the leftovers away, they pieced The Chain together from fragments. A bit of one abandoned song here, a discarded vocal line there, and that thunderous bass run that drives the ending. Which had originally belonged to something else entirely. The seams should not have held, but the tension between those mismatched parts created something more powerful than any of the original pieces. A song built from scraps became one of the band's defining statements.
It's getting hard to be someone, but it all works out.
Number 4, Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles.
Strawberry Fields Forever.
The Beatles' Strawberry Fields Forever is one of the most groundbreaking recordings of the 1960s, and it only exists because of an impossible request and a clever fix. John Lennon could not decide between 2 completely different versions of the song.
Thing is real, and nothing to get.
He loved the gentle opening of the first and the heavier orchestral feel of the second, so he simply asked producer George Martin to join them together. There was just one problem, actually 2.
With eyes closed, misunderstand.
The 2 recordings were in different keys and at different tempos. Lennon brushed it off with the now legendary line, "You can fix it, George." So Martin and engineer Jeff Emmerich sped up one take and slowed down the other until
Strawberry Fields.
almost miraculously, they matched. If you listen right around the 1-minute mark, you can hear the splice where 2 different songs become one.
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
Number 3, In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight is famous for one of the most explosive drum sounds ever recorded. That massive, cavernous fill that crashes in near the end. And that entire sound, the one that went on to define 1980s pop, was a complete accident. While working on a Peter Gabriel session, producer Hugh Padgham had a talkback microphone running, the kind normally used just to chat with musicians in the live room. When Collins started drumming, that heavily compressed mic produced an enormous, unearthly sound that stopped everyone cold. Padgham could not believe his ears. They scrambled to rewire the studio that very night so they could actually record it. Collins later built In the Air Tonight around that discovery, and a forgotten communication microphone gave the 80s their signature drum sound. Number 2, Honky Tonk Women by the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones' Honky Tonk Women opens with one of the most recognizable sounds in rock, that loose, slightly off cowbell that kicks the whole song into gear. And here is the strange part. That cowbell intro is famously, almost charmingly, out of sync. Producer Jimmy Miller, who played it, comes in just slightly ahead of the beat, so the cowbell and Charlie Watts' drums are not quite locked together at the start. By every rule of the studio, that is a mistake. But that tiny imperfection, that little stumble before everything snaps into place, gives the song its swaggering, human swing. The band kept it exactly as it was, and that imperfect cowbell has been imitated by drummers and producers ever since. Number 1, Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones' Satisfaction is built on what may be the most famous guitar riff in rock history, that fuzzy, snarling hook that opens the song. And Keith Richards never meant for you to hear it that way. Richards has said the riff came to him in the middle of the night, half asleep. And he recorded it on a bedside tape machine before drifting off. waking the next morning to find the tape filled with the riff, followed by 40 minutes of his own snoring. When the band recorded it, Richards ran his guitar through a brand new fuzz box only as a placeholder. In his mind, that buzzing riff was a stand-in for a horn section he intended to add later. He thought the fuzz sounded like a gimmick and wanted to redo it, but the rest of the band and their manager loved it exactly as it was. The song was rushed out before Richards could fix his so-called rough draft, and that placeholder became the sound that launched the Stones to superstardom. Keith wanted horns. The world wanted the mistake. And there you have it. 15 iconic songs with a mistake hiding somewhere inside them. A squeaky shoe, a smoker's cough, a slurred title, a tape left running, a riff meant to be replaced. Over and over, the magic came not from perfection, but from the moment everyone in the room decided to keep the accident exactly where it landed. It is a beautiful reminder that the records we cherish are full of fingerprints, flaws, and lucky breaks that somehow turned out exactly right. Which of these hidden mistakes surprised you the most? Tell me down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip back through the tape, do me a favor and like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss what comes next. Until then, let us drop the needle.